going to go ahead and get started. All right. Hold on to me. I got to click this button so I can let everybody know that I'm being recorded. So first of all, I want to welcome everyone here tonight. We're going to be talking about marketing. And Randall, can you hear me okay? Okay. All right, good. All right. So we want to talk about knee pain, marketing, why you need to be marketing for knee pain patients. And we're going to go over that today. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Andy Barlow, board certified chiropractic neurologist. I carry a diplomate and fellowship in functional neurology. I'm the author of 2 books. This one is my latest #1 new release bestseller, Highway to Health. You can go on, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Highway to Health. That's a great thing when you've written a couple of books, you can't remember which one you have in front of you. So Highway to Health, your roadmap to overcoming depression, anxiety, insomnia through the gut-brain connection. You can go online, highwaytohealthbook.com, and you can download that. My very first book was the License to Heal. Hopefully this one will come up, and you can go online to licencetohealbook.com. Also, my homepage is barlowbrainandbody.com. So if you do want to register for my upcoming seminar, you can do that, barlowbrainandbody.com. And tonight we're going to be talking about knee pain, and this coming weekend in Conroe, Texas, I'm going to give a low back, hip, knee, and foot seminar from a functional neurology standpoint. So we're not just going to sit there and crank on the knee or crank on the hip or crank on the foot as a technician. We're actually going to do it as a doctor as to why are we doing what we're doing and what is the neurological link between the knee, the spinal cord, the cerebellum, and the brain. Okay. And same thing with the foot, the hip, low back. As a board certified chiropractic neurologist, I spent 6 years to get my diplomate in functional neurology. So I'm more into the why does this work than just going over there, you know, and cranking a wrench or whatever. So if you get my drift on that with being a technician. Now, for those of you who are thinking about getting into the knee pain niche, I want you to look at this or never considered getting into this. All right. Now, 100 Americans suffer from chronic knee pain. It's the second most common cause of chronic pain, and 1/3 of Americans report experiencing knee pain at some time or another. So what I did here is I just literally Googled number of Americans with knee pain who suffer from knee pain. So basically in English, about 1 out of every 3 to 4 people in America suffer from knee pain. I think we have 350 million people in America. You can Google the actual number, but if it's, you know, if it's 350 million, then 1 out of every 3.5 people in America have knee pain. Now watch this right here. So people think that, well, if I have knee pain, everything's going to be hunky-dory. Well, that's not what this research shows. Okay, so up to 1/3 of knee pain replacements pack pain and regret. All right. So again, the way I think I Googled, you know, how many people suffer with knee pain after surgery or something, but just up to 1/3 of knee pain replacements pack pain and regret. So I'm sure if you Google that, you can actually, that'll come up. So my point is that, and that fits right in line with what I tell patients in my clinic, is 30% of patients who in my clinic that have knee pain actually have had failed knee surgery. So I've had people who come in that's had a failed knee surgery on one knee, and they go, I don't want the same thing to happen to my other knee, or my wife or my spouse or my brother or my sister had a knee replacement. It went terrible. I don't want to go through that. So again, surgery is not the answer for everyone. And again, it's one of those where, and this is the stuff that they admit to. So again, how bad is it really? But we can definitely say and pull this up and go up to 1/3 of knee replacement pack pain and regret. And again, we want to get to these people, and we want to market to these people so that they understand there is another option without having surgery. I'm sorry, it's been a long day, and I got a little dinger up here above my eye. I play racquetball 4 days a week, and I was playing a guy and tripped over him, and lo and behold, the first thing that hit the racquetball floor was that right there. So anyway, we had to stop play, bleeding all over the place, put a Band-Aid on it, and life goes on. But so my point here is, with this neurological treatment system that we have called the Neural Reconnect system, with this program, if we get results in 2 visits, we actually accept the patient for care. And when you come to my seminars in Conroe, Texas, this coming weekend, I'm going to show you how to actually do that. Because when patients come into my clinic, I don't unleash everything that I can do for them on the first visit. Because what I do is I want to do enough so that they see that they get results. And then, okay, wow, I'm getting results in here. I want to pay him for care, and I want to get better through a non-surgical approach. And how amazing is it that if you can actually have a knee pain patient come into your clinic and tell them that our office policy in this clinic is that if we get results in 2 visits, we will accept you for care. And if we get results today, you'll be expected to pay for your program tomorrow. So if you get results in the first visit, you can help them. They have to pay for care on the second visit. I've had patients that's come in and didn't get results. It doesn't happen a lot, but you know what? This is just the policy that we have in our clinic. If we get results in 2 visits, we're going to accept you for care. If we don't get results, no hard feelings. We just shake hands, and you're just not a candidate for this program. Okay, so that to me allows me to sleep at night really well because you're able to show people that you can get results within 2 visits. If you can, you will accept them for care. And again, I promise you, with this system, 90% of patients that come in, you're going to be able to see results within the first visit. And very few people will need 2 treatments to actually see if you can help them. So again, this seminar this weekend, we're going to show you how to increase range of motion, decrease pain when it comes to back pain, hip pain, knee. We're going to be dealing with peripheral neuropathy and plantar fasciitis. And it's a 20-hour seminar. 12 of those hours are dedicated for continuing education hours. So we have, I've only allowed 12 hours for continuing education so that we can actually talk about at the end of the seminar more on how do we market, how do we set up care plans, how do we make money treating patients with knee pain. And unfortunately, when you get CE hours, you just have to go with the academics, but we have to know the academics to give us the why of why is this working, and why is it, and I'm going to leave this at a little cliffhanger. I'm going to turn it over to Randall. Why is it that when you activate these muscle spindles and these Golgi tendon organs, why is it that a person's mood would change? Why is it their emotions would change? Why is it that their gut motility improves? Why is it that they're sleeping better? And it's not, don't give me that crap that the body just heals itself. And I agree, I know it does. But again, we got to get out of that archaic caveman mindset and actually take the science and explain this to a patient scientifically as to why your mood's better, your emotions better, your digestion is better, and you're sleeping better. And there's actually a neurological connection to that. So if you want to know the why, this is the seminar to come to, and how to, how to improve the quality of patients' lives suffering with lower extremity problems. Randall's going to go over how to market it, and the beauty of being able to do this neurological treatment system and know within 2 visits if this patient is a candidate for care. So Randall, I wanted to turn everything over to you now from the marketing standpoint. And again, thank you for being on here and actually hosting this tonight and being on here with me. So take it away, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate it, Dr. Barlow. For those of you who are on, you're muted. At the end, we save 10 minutes where you can come on if you want to ask a question, or if you just want to type it in. Maybe you're in a situation where you can't come on, you could type it up. And then Dr. Barlow, if it happens to be a marketing question, we can answer that at the end. But I wanted us to so 10 minutes is not a long time to tell you a lot about anything. So I figured I would find Cairo Hulk sent in a question last week about knees. And I thought, well, first off, that's a cool name. Hopefully your logo is green, Cairo Hulk. And his question was, what do I need to do to get a consistent flow of knee pain patients? And I'm pretty sure that applies to all of your modalities, whether it's knee or not. How do you get a consistent flow of patients? And you know, there's a long-term and a short-term solution for that. I'm going to talk about both. Like I said, I got 10 minutes. So without knowing anything about Cairo Hulk's situation there, I would assume that he doesn't have a system. You know, anything in life that you have a frustration in your life, you can always go back to there's a lack of a system or a process, you know, however you want it, whatever it is. So most likely you do not have a system, and you have to have a system for three main things. One, you have to have a system for learning, because if you're going to treat knee patients, you need to have a system for how you're going to know this and be the expert in your area. And then of course, grow that out to being the expert in your state, and as bigger you can. So you have to have a system for learning. And when you're running a practice and when you're taking care of a family, you got to be able to plan that out, because all of those people are equally important. But there is you know, like Dr. Barlow pointed out, there's, you know, 1 in 3 people that you walk by every day has some sort of knee issues. Now, it may not directly be the knee, but they think it's the knee. Your job is going to be able to figure out how you get them in. So the first thing that I would say to Cairo Hulk is that if you don't have the confidence to understand how a knee works, from my understanding, the knee's not that complicated, but understanding other issues that could be triggering the knee to have a pain, that's going to be what Dr. Barlow is going to teach you, and how you find and treat maybe the metabolic gut issues, and how you transition a patient to understand that the reason your knee hurts isn't directly just your knee, it's your stomach, it's your brain. And here's how we do that in his neurological exam. So the number one is you got to have a system for learning this stuff, because you got to be confident. These people, I mean, just like you know when somebody's confident about what they're talking about. And if you're not talking about it and you're not saying it confidently enough when they are in that room, they're going to tell people that live in your area, don't go there because that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. People talk, you know, I've heard. So that's one. The second one is, and this is the one that is a little bit long-term, but a little bit short-term, is you have to have a lead generation system and a place to store those leads. So what I mean by that, a system, you have to have a software to put these leads. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're running Facebook ads, right? Those names and numbers and emails need to be stored somewhere so that you can nurture them later. If you have a Google ad running and maybe you run it to a landing page, you got to have that. You know, you have to have, if people go to your website, maybe they download a booklet and they are not ready to make a decision yet. And you give them a reason to at least engage with you and show a little bit of interest, and you give them a little bit of information. So you got to have a system for that. So you have to have a lead generation. Keep in mind, I'm, you know, just scratching the surface, 10 minutes here. I kind of, you just got to get to the point. The lead generation system, I want to, before I move to the next one, I got to say this. If you have a website, whoever designed your website, that website has to be able to convince someone to give you their information. And people are going to come to your website and from a Google ad, and they're going to come to your site, and maybe they have already made a decision. They're going to make an appointment with you. 3% of the numbers say only 3% of the people who ever visit your site are going to be that person. So what are you doing with the other 97% that come there and leave and never do anything? You have to, this is a must. You have to have something on your website that convinces them to give you their information, whether it's a web series, attend a webinar, learn something, download this, you know, how to know if a knee replacement is right for you, something so you can get their information. Because the only person who's there's only 2 people who download that, another marketer because they want to copy it, or another chiropractor who wants to copy it, or somebody who actually is in the process of deciding, do they need a knee replacement? And they just need to know, are you the right person? So you got to be able to convey that to them. So you have to have that. And inside of that is a sales page. So what most chiropractic offices, you don't think about your front desk as being a salesperson. You are a salesperson. I'm just going to tell you that. If you don't know, you are a salesperson. in the primitive sense, of course, that you have to convince them that that you're the right person to help them, and you know what's the problem is. That is sales. They're either going to sell you on no, you're not, or you can sell them on yes, you are. So what if you could have kind of an interim system that is that's why they call it a sales page. That's a kind of an automated system that convinces them, answers their questions, gets all of that preliminary stuff that wastes your time most of the time, asking you simple questions that you could have easily answered in a sales page. And by the time they fill out that form and give you that information, they are already at the next level of engaging with you. Then it goes to your front desk, and then they could filter them out the next step, you know, if you don't take insurance, or do they have the financial means, those types of things, so that when that person comes into your office, they are ready to go. And now you just have to demonstrate you're confident that you can help them what the problem is. And then the final thing is kind of attached to that is you have to have a lead nurturing system. Again, like I said, 3% of the people who ever engage with you, whether it's on Facebook or they search you out, are going to say yes in the first meeting. Think about when you go to a car dealership. Maybe you want to buy a Corvette, right? You want to go buy a new car, and you just driving down the freeway and you see this beautiful Corvette, and you drive in there. That salesperson knows if they let you leave, 97% chance you ain't coming back. So their whole job is to convince you not to leave without that car. So your job is going to be, when they come to your website, they go to a landing page, or they call your front desk, you have to have a way for the get the 97% some sort of information that moves them closer to either coming in or purchasing, a program. They're not going to purchase a program online, but where they can come in and you can have the opportunity to do that. So again, I'm going to restate those. Number one, you have to have a system. It's all systems and process. You got to have a system for learning, whether you get up early in the morning, or whether you commit to every 3 months, 6 months, you're going to do some sort of training. And keep in mind that you have to train your staff too. When you get trained, guess what you got to do? You have to be so confident in what you learn that you got to come back and be able to at least convey to your staff what this new stuff that you just learned, right? And the great thing about Dr. Bob, I've been going to his classes for 2 years. I'm not a doctor. I'm fairly confident that I could, somebody could come in and think I'm a doctor, and I could do a neurological exam on them and convince them that I am so confident in what I'm doing or what I'm examining that I know exactly what's wrong with them, without having a clue past what graphesthesia means. I can do it. I can act it. That's where I would call Dr. Barlow and say, hey, I got somebody willing to give me $15,000. You need to help me. So the lead generation system, and you need to have a nurturing system. If you don't have all of those, this is what's going to happen. You're going to run an ad, whether it be in the newspaper, television, because people talk, and you're going to generate business. The Facebook, you got to keep in mind that whenever you run an ad on Facebook, you're just interrupting people. They're scrolling through, looking at whatever else they're looking at, TikTok or whatever they look at on Facebook, and hope that person who you interrupt has knee neuropathy or whatever the issue you have. So you have to keep in mind that if you know that, think about yourself, that person isn't really looking for it. So, you probably a 1% chance that person's going to ever show up. So if you got 10 leads, probably one of them is going to show up. Unless you have a really good system, like you're on TV, you're in the radio, they already feel like they know you because they've seen you on TV. Maybe you're a legacy person. You've been in your town long enough that those people in that town already know you. But for the most part, that's what happens. Google now, that's a little different. They actually went and searched for you, and they said, I'm looking for this, and then you show up, and then they go. See, that's an intention based. That's going to be a little bit better. That's the one that I recommend. But you got to take those people, you're either going to take them to a sales page or a website. Look at your website, and look at your website right now. And whenever you get off this, and go to your website and say, if I was somebody, my knee hurt, and I went to my website, does my website convey or give them any information other than please come in and see me? Does it give them any information that moves them or makes them feel like you know more? If it doesn't, you need to fix it. And if it doesn't have anything that gives the information, you need to fix it. Now, keep in mind, everybody's situation is different. If, you know, I'll just use Dr. Barlow since he's on here. He's been running television ads for probably the last 5 years, non-stop. He's going to have a little bit more runway in what his website doesn't need to say, because they've seen him on television 5 million times, and maybe they've seen him at Kroger's in his new Corvette. So they're gonna be a little bit different. And I don't know, we're going to bring Dr. Barlow, you're going to come back on here, but one of the things that I want you to make clear to them, and it's in your video, it's in one of your pre-recorded videos, that these people are already coming in. They've been coming in. You just need to know how to convince them, or to at least just ask them. You want to take this one, Dr. Barlow? Let me unmute you here.
Yeah, because one of the things that with doctors that come to my seminars this weekend, one of the things I will tell them is on your front door on Monday morning. So doctors that's here, that's going to be going to the seminar, I will tell them, so you can go ahead and prep it if you're already coming to the seminar this weekend. Get a goldenrod piece of paper, print it off on the front door in the front desk that says, if you are suffering with any type of knee pain, please contact Dr. and then put your name in it right there. So, because again, you're going to see how many people are coming into your clinic with knee pain and peripheral neuropathy and plantar fasciitis and hip pain. But my point is, they have you as, if you're only marketing as a chiropractor, they're just thinking that you're good for back pain and neck pain. And it's become so specialized in the healthcare field that people think, well, chiropractors are good for this, and endocrinologists are good for that, and gastroenterologists are good for this, and the specialty. So unless you tell them, they're not going to know. And that's really my motto with everything. And that is, if you don't tell them, you're not going to know. If I come on here and say I'm a chiropractor, and I don't tell you that I'm the best-selling author of 2 books, that I'm a board certified chiropractic neurologist, unless you are in a diplomate, unless you take that next step effort, put forth energy and you're motivated to actually look me up, you're not going to find that out. You're just like, well, he's just another chiropractor doing knee pain and or giving a seminar, and I'm not that guy. And just to let you know, I'm not that guy. Is my program is to teach you how to get this knee pain, lower extremity program under control as fast as you can and start making money with that. Then we have another program for neck, frozen shoulder, carpal tunnel, and then the entrapment in the hand. You got to learn that as fast as possible, because the coming tsunami that's already here is brain-based disorders, Parkinsonism, dementia, Alzheimer's, movement disorders. That's where the big money is. So again, I've got to get you as a healthcare professional comfortable with doing these, what we call low-hanging fruit, so that whenever these brain-based disorders come in, and again, these people with knee pain and peripheral neuropathy, they already have brain-based disorders. They've already got stage 2 or 3 Alzheimer's. But again, see, you don't know how to pick that up. So you're just over here, you know, putting a laser on their knee or whatever. And I'm going to show you how to do an exam. But first, we got to learn how to market. And one of the things that I'm sure Randall can set this up on your website to get people to go, you know, give them your email address, is go watch this 7-minute video and see if you're a candidate for this program. And I can show you how to do that. Okay. Or just watch this 4-minute video. So, and the video is not the important part. Okay. For you, the video is there to, you know, spend 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, and then give me your email. We'll send you this video, and now you've captured that. So now you have the ability to contact this person with anything. Hey, I have a new laser. Come in and check it out for a free visit, so that they can get used to seeing you. I'm not big into free visits, but if somebody's already raised their hand, my startup fees are $197 for regular patients. But if you come in with a brain-based disorder, depression, anxiety, insomnia, early onset dementia, Parkinsonism, that startup fee is $450. So I will also say, for most of you, your startup fee is ridiculously low, and you got to take the number up.
Okay.
You got to pick that number up.
Got a question
And-
here, but
Okay, go ahead.
I'll take the answer to that one because it's not a medical question.
Okay.
It's more asking, they asked if they weren't able to attend the lower and they were to buy the online, but they were able to come to the next one. Is that part of the, can they do that?
Well, we can do that. So what you can do is if you buy it, because this weekend may not work for you, but what you can do is you can buy the online learning, okay? And then you can actually come to the seminar, and I won't charge you for the next seminar if you actually buy the online learning. And then the next seminar that we will have one more this year for the lower extremity. You buy the online learning and you won't get charged for the actual live seminar. So yeah, that's a really good question. Thanks for asking.
Keep in mind now, if you buy it, his new program or his new online platform, he pre-recorded all of the how to treat and test each muscle group individually, pre-recorded videos. So if you wanted to know how to, test and treat the multifidus, you could log in, go to that one, watch exactly how he does it, the Hoffman's reflex, all that type of stuff. And then, which is really cool, you can watch it over and over again if you wanted to know how to draw out the lumbosacral
plexus. You're there. You're on it. You're
tongue tied there. You can do that. He pre-recorded all that, and there's some pre-recorded videos that are also in there. If you want to, how do you describe the nerve core, the nerve, all that type of stuff. So it's really a powerful. Even if you don't get to come, it is good to come to the event if you can, but it's also valuable that you can already go through, learn how to draw it, and start looking and how to test and treat on that.
Right.
I'm going to open it up. If anybody who's on here who wants to jump in, you can unmute yourself if you have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead, because we got about 3 minutes, three or 4 minutes, and then we try to limit these to 30 minutes a night, so that just if you have any questions, please fire away. If you don't want to ask it, you can type it in, whatever you would like to do.
Right. Let's see here. Nobody's coming in. Let's see. We got a chat here. What is it? Okay. So how do you talk about the metabolic? I don't know if they spell that word right. The metabolic program. They just spell that right.
How do we go?
Somebody must have been doing that on a cell phone. Yeah. How do you introduce the metabolic program? Yeah. I'm just. How do you introduce the metabolic program? You got 2 minutes.
Okay. So the first thing we need to realize is that with chronic pain patients, well, anybody, 70% of your immune system is in your gut. That's in my first book. You can just Google that, look it up. So with these chronic pain patients, why are they suffering with chronic pain? All right. So leaky gut problems is one of these. So Mr. Smith, you came in with knee pain. All right. Before patients come into the clinic, we actually take x-rays and put it up on my x-ray view box. We have a high definition video here. And so you can start to see all of this bloating. I don't have the x-ray up there, but see, you can see all of these little holes that look like in their gut. So I can actually circle that on x-rays when they come in and say, see here, here, here. This is what I was talking about earlier. I know you came in with knee pain, and this is why I asked you about gastric reflux, about bloating, about distension, constipation, diarrhea. Okay, because again, with these patients, whenever you have a gut issue, this inflammation flows over into the bloodstream, which can actually attack any joint in your body. And also inflammation is going to turn up the volume control knob on the pain level. So somebody may have a pain level of a 3, but they have inflammation, and now their pain level is a 6, and they have a difficult time ambulating through the day. So we'll talk more about this at the seminar. We'll talk more about how we actually communicate this with patients. Again, this is not about upselling anybody. We don't do that. I do not do that. I'm not trying to upsell people. My job is to change their life and show them how I'm going to do that. So we will go over that entire neurometabolic program at the seminar this weekend. Remember, 12 hours will be continuing education hours. The first day and a half will be more academics and the how to do it on the knee, the low back, hip, and foot. And then we also have to have marketing set up care plans. How do we get people into the clinic? What does our staff say when they call in? And then how do we do an exam? And then how do we close them? And then start them? How do we get them to pay? So
Okay, well, we're gonna close it up with the offer here. Since you took the time out of your day to come in here, and if you decided you want it, so there's two ways. One, we recommend the NRS Lower, where you attend in Conroe, Texas. That's the 18th through the 20th. You could save $500 if you sign up tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. What's the date? Yeah, tomorrow.
that's gonna be the last
And
day.
then we have the fast track knee training, which is all online, where he just strictly talks about just the knee, how to introduce the metabolic program, how to price it, how to the length of care, all that different type of stuff. It's a really robust program, and you can get $1,000 off of that. It's only $500. Again, same thing. Go to Barlow Brain and Body, and you can email us there. And thanks everybody for attending tonight.
Thank you. All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.